Hello, Survivor fans. Welcome to our pre-finale slugfest on season 40, Winners at War. My name is Marcus James Dixon. I'm here with Susan Wloszczyna and Kevin Jacobsen, and we're going to talk about the season overall and also who we think is going to win, who we want to win. Remember, it's $2 million this year, not $1 million. And also, who do we think is going to come back from the edge of extinction? I think that one seems pretty obvious. But Susan, I guess I'll come to you first. You have been on the Sarah bandwagon from the very beginning. Do you think she actually can pull it off?
I do, because I think she manipulates her, cohorts, Ben and Tony, more than they manipulate her. I think she's the brains of the operation more than them. But she lets them think that they are. But if I think it'd be really cool if Denise, because she killed the queen, got mucho points for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, she can make that case all day. So
it's very Game of Thrones. She's the Queen Slayer, and there was even like an Iron Throne on the edge of extinction in this last episode.
Right.
So that's you think she'll win, or you want her to win, right?
Well, it just would be like a great surprise, because I do think that she can't be the new queen unless she wins twice. So,
So Kevin, who do you think and who do you want?
I think that this season is kind of just going to wrap up as a war between Tony and Sarah. They've been working together this whole game. They have this long history going all the way back to Cagayan. I just feel like it makes sense for just the end of this to just be them just duking it out. And either one of them, I think, has an equal shot. Right now, I would just say Tony is probably the favorite, just because he is so, controlling of the game. He's so aggressive, but he still has not had a vote against him this entire game, which is so wild to me. Going into this season, I never would have expected him to make it this far and to not even get any votes at all up to this point. And I just think that with a cast like this and the jury being what it is, all these winners, I just really think that someone like Tony is someone that these winners would feel comfortable losing to, just because he is such almost on that legend tier at this point. But I also think, if there are people who are not as big of a fan of the way he plays the game, you have someone like Sarah, if she is also there, that, she's kind of an alternative because she plays a more social game in addition to being strategic. So that would be fun to see if that ends up happening. I guess I would say Tony is probably who I think will win at this point. Who I want to win might be a little surprising, just because this person hasn't really been in control of the game that much, but I just like them as a person, and that's Michele. I just like that she is almost playing a game similar to Sandra in her first two seasons, in how she just is kind of like anyone but me sort of thing. I'll even vote for my biggest ally if it means I can just stay in the game. And she just manages to, I think, also have such a great social game. All these people are giving her fire tokens as they exit out of the game. And I think that really shows the relationships that she's formed. And I just think she's been kind of a fun presence this season that I wasn't expecting. So yeah. I'm not sure how it would happen, but I sort of just think it would be fun for that to happen. And I sort of just want a woman to win Survivor again. That would be nice.
My picks are actually the reverse of yours. I think Michele will win. If she's in that final three, I mean, this jury loves her. I think it's the ultimate underdog story. And how many of these people, when they were voted out, gave her their coins? Yeah. So many of them. There's this huge respect for her. And I mean, personally, though, I want Tony to win. How could you not want Tony after the past 3 or 4 episodes? He has completely dominated the game. It's the Tony show now. Even the preview trailer for this penultimate 2-hour thing that we just watched was like double the episodes, double the Tony. That's how they were promoting it to audiences, which was really funny. So Susan, if Sarah wins, she'll be the first female winner in how long?
Well, season, what'd you say? Kevin 34?
Yeah, 34. So
So
I
that's
think that was
6
like
seasons back.
2017. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about Edge of Extinction. There's 14 people, something like that, that are in the running to return. It's going to be a huge challenge, and we saw some of them use their fire tokens on advantages. Some of them have idols in case they get back into the game. So, Kevin, I'll come to you first this time. Who do you think is coming back into the game? And then if you could say who you want to win, like who you're rooting for.
I think it's actually both. I think I am rooting for and think that Natalie will be back in. I mean, I think she obviously has acquired so many fire tokens, just like more than anyone else combined, and is using all of the advantages to her advantage. And she is such a physical, dominant player that you could just see her just totally going through like an obstacle course with ease. I just feel like she has the willpower in her to just she has like a hunger to get back in that I think is stronger than anyone else. And I just like her as a person. And so I am kind of just think it would be funny if this person who was voted out first managed to just still bust her ass every single day on Edge of Extinction and then battled her way back in. I think that would be a really compelling kind of narrative.
Well, she's been the Tony of Edge, I think.
Yeah.
Because she finds everything, even with other people, but then she gets the credit for it more.
The last time they did the Edge of Extinction, or the first time and the last time, was season 38. And Chris Underwood came back in the finale and won. And people were not happy. They thought that since he's been on the edge this whole time, he doesn't deserve to win the $1 million. So do you think people would be mad if Natalie won because she's been away since day 3 or day 2?
But see, now they give them challenges. They're just not like lying on the beach like whales or whatever. It's like they have, I mean, it's according to Jeff Probst, he thinks it's worse to be on that island than in the game. So as far as what your health and welfare and just your mental state can be on edge. So
yeah, I mean, that was the big thing with the first Edge of Extinction, is that they weren't actually doing anything on that island, like anything. And so I think that's where people felt like, what has he really done to really orchestrate his own destiny, sort of thing? Whereas Natalie, has been very much, like I said, every single day doing something. So
So, Susan, who do you think will come back and who do you want to come back?
Well, I think Natalie. Because I think, obviously, she's very popular. Obviously, she, is very strong and fit. And, I mean, she barely broke a sweat with all those crazy things they had them do, climbing out mountains 20 times or whatever. So I just think the jury would vote for her because they saw her do all these things.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it necessarily.
She is the type of person who could come back and actually win. She's so beloved by everybody. I think, I'm just going to go on a limb and say the person coming back will be somebody like Wendell, who he's gotten a lot of screen time on the Edge of Extinction. And some of these people don't. Look, we've never seen Sophie or Kim, or we hardly see Yule. It's like, if the editors know, the Survivor editors know who comes back, so they go backwards from that, and they're show us their story on the edge so that we're rooting for them. And I'm just using that as a reason to predict Wendell. At Gold Derby, you can make your predictions who you think's coming back. So I'm predicting Wendell, but in my heart, I probably think it's Natalie.
But you know who the wild card is?
Who's that?
Boston Rob, because he has got a hunger in that belly. He nearly broke his arm off the last time.
He's bleeding.
Right, bleeding for his, wanting to win. So,
The difference, though, last time it was like episode 7, I think, when they did the return challenge. He had an advantage But this time he has nothing. He has no coins. Amber has no coins, so he can't borrow hers again. So I don't know. I think the person that wins will be somebody that bought an advantage.
But he has an idol still, but you have to come back to use that.
Yeah. I'm glad they clarified that because Jeff had said, you say it, Susan, he had made a mistake, right?
Right. Well, he said that they were nullified after they didn't win the challenge. But then he said, no. Obviously they can't use it on Edge. So, if they come back, they can use their idol.
Yeah. And so who has idols? Rob, Natalie, and then she bought one for Tyson. I think that's the only people with idols.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think Tyson is another one who could potentially come back. We've seen him do it the first time. He's a very physical player. He has some advantages to him. So, that would be a cool narrative too.
So let's talk about the season overall. What are some of your favorite moments and least favorite moments? I guess we should start with fire tokens. What did we think of them? Do we want this twist to continue? Kevin, go ahead.
I don't know how I feel about people on the edge of extinction sort of influencing the game in that way. But I do think that if it's just in the regular game and there is no external island where people are influencing the game on the active game, I think fire tokens are kind of a natural evolution of having this currency to I think it adds another layer to the game that even as someone who is more of a old school fan of the game who doesn't always love too many advantages, I think it's not really something that offends me. So I guess I'm fine with it.
I did like the aspect of, when you get voted out, you have to give it to somebody because it created bonds, and with Edge of Extinction in play, if that person can come back and we know that they like this person because they gave them their coins when they were voted out.
It gave us clues how things will finally come in the end. So
I think they should have shown more of the menu, and people should have used the coins more on buying things. I know Denise bought the rice, but other than that, and Tyson buying the peanut butter, did anyone actually buy things throughout the season?
No.
Natalie, I think went on a shopping binge.
Oh yeah, she had peanut butter.
Yeah.
I think there should maybe be more incentive to actually spend the coins and not just save them for the end,
Yeah. And they all had these coins, and Denise bought rice, but what about all the other coins? They're null and void now.
Your souvenirs.
Yeah, I guess.
Put them on eBay, right?
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite moments, Susan, looking back at the whole season?
Well, Denise, nothing beats Denise taking out Sandra.
Oh, come on. That was the worst moment.
No, I loved it because she just let down her guard in such a way. And I didn't like when she sat out all the time. And, Jeff made fun of her. She has a bench named after her now. And
The private community did not like Sandra sitting out. That was one of the big controversies of the season.
And what else did I like? I liked actually some of the things that happened on Edge because they were very emotional. Everything's strategy and, lying and everything in the real game. But on Edge, people were, almost helping each other achieve, whatever, challenge they had put to them, and they were rooting for them. So it was a different kind of feel. It's like Emotion Island now or something.
I really loved the loved ones visit from a few episodes back, and
that was great.
The people on the edge also got their loved ones. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Kevin, what's a favorite moment of yours?
Everything that you guys said, but also I just loved Adam trying to use the little fleur de lis.
I know fleur de lis will ever go down in history now.
That is just I love that moment so much, and I know he got a little bit of crap for just trying to pull something like that off, but it's a risk worth taking, I think, and that was just really fun.
Exactly, he was going home anyways.
Yeah.
Why not at least try? Like, imagine if he didn't try, and then that was an idol.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't like all the older players being voted out.
Yeah, that was the bummer
because that made it less fun for me, because those are the ones. You know, I grew up I didn't grow up. I was grown up. But no, those are the ones that made us like the game. So.
Yeah. And they hadn't played for a long time either. Right. You know, we've just seen a lot of these people who made it to the end. So
poor Nick. I feel bad for Nick. He just made the worst decision this past episode. So
with Ben out of the challenge instead of taking Tony out of the challenge, even though Tony didn't win. But
he should have taken out Michele, because she was the one that was most, targeted previously, and then she did her 50-50 and got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
what would have happened if she used the 50-50 on Jeremy? It would have been a tie between Michele and Ben, and there would have been a revote. She probably would have gone home.
Yep.
I'm glad she used it on herself,
yep.
because that would have been just an epic failure if she'd used it on Jeremy and then she went home. One of my least favorite moments, I already mentioned the Sandra sitting out, but also Sandra quitting, just as a huge Survivor fan, just really didn't sit well with me. I was very disappointed, and I don't know. I'm curious to see if she'll be at this reunion, because usually, they don't like quitters on Survivor. And so it's going to be a remote reunion. Everyone's going to be in little boxes. I'm assuming she'll be there. And I want Jeff to ask her if she regrets that decision or not.
I bet she will say no.
No, she'll say no. She's not going to give in and say, what the hell was I thinking? So
yeah.
The only cool thing she did was catch those fish for them, and and everything else. I mean, she was a little behind the scenes trying to twist and turn things, but not like she used to. It was a different Sandra this time.
I wonder how far she would have made it if she didn't give her idol to Denise, who then voted her out with it. She would
have made the merge.
Probably, because she didn't receive a vote, I don't think, before then. And she was really not on anyone's radar. I'll never know.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I didn't like was, I think you mentioned earlier, the old schoolers being voted out. And I kind of wish they had started the season with two tribes, like the new schoolers versus the old schoolers.
Totally.
Then it would have been equal in terms of who gets voted out. A new schooler this week, an old schooler next week.
Yeah.
Ethan on the edge was also very entertaining to watch. I loved seeing him struggle I loved seeing him struggle, but it was good television.
Compelling drama. Yes.
Yeah, he would not give up. And take that, Sandra, okay?
Yeah, he didn't give up. And when everyone else finished that log challenge, they still walked with him so he could finish it. That was one of my
that's why Edge this time was very much more emotion driven, and it wasn't just Reem yelling at everyone as they landed on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, we've been rambling for way too long. Do you guys have any final thoughts before the finale, which will be Wednesday, May 13th? Kevin or Susan, did you want to go first?
Oh, final thoughts? No, I just want to see it explode with all my wishes coming through. And Natalie, maybe they'll give Natalie a special prize just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see what becomes of Tony and Sarah, how this season will end for them, whether it'll just be like, hey, right at the end, one of them backstabs the other and I'm never talking to you again, or they go to the end all the way, Kagian, so.
I could see if one of them betrays the other, I think Sarah would betray Tony. I think what Michele was saying in the last episode is going to hit home with her, and she's going to realize Tony's the face of their little operation, and so he's going to get all the credit. If Sarah wants to win, she needs to get Tony out.
That's her game-winning move. Yep.
Yeah, but he didn't do a fashion show. What the hell was that?
He was too busy hiding up in the tree.
That's right. He made little tree huts or whatever. But the saddest thing is we won't see Survivor for a while.
Yeah.
I know.
It's been
There's
renewed.
two
but-
seasons they couldn't.
Yeah. Because normally they'd be filming already.
Right.
Yeah. I'm assuming we won't get our normal September, October, November season, and we'll just get another one in February 2021. It's gonna be sad.
I know.
Well, by the sounds of it, it sounds like the episode might be 3 hours, not just a reunion. I wrote a piece. You need to.
Well, everyone, thanks for watching, and go to goldderby.com. Make your predictions. Who's going to win? Who's going to come back from the edge? It's going to be very exciting. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.